If your goal is to do this, what? Oh yeah, the other one. Sorry, if your goal is to do this, then keep watching. Hey guys, my name is Zach Ferguson, and this channel is all about helping you guys reach your tricking goals. I may not be the best tricker, but hopefully my experience can help you guys become the best. This is a tutorial for a butter knife, or butterfly knife. A butter knife is a trick that's often confused with an aerial hook, and that's justifiable because they are very, very similar, but they are not exactly the same thing. With a butter knife, you keep your head mostly horizontal on takeoff, and then your head can go down a little bit when you send the hook kick if you want that look for your butter knife. But on an aerial hook, your hips are supposed to be over your head at the beginning and for the majority of the move until you hook kick and then stand back up. So the difference is that your hips are parallel with your head for most of the trick in a butter knife, and for an aerial hook, your head is down most of the time below your hips for the almost entirety of the trick. Obviously, you'll be able to tell the difference based on the takeoffs usually, and then depending on the angle that you're looking at it from. This is a really cool standalone trick that I never personally did at the beginning of my tricking career. It wasn't until I moved from Florida to North Carolina and I started working at Enso. I used to train with these two guys named Demetrius and Emmanuel, and they did butter knives a lot, and I personally thought it was really, really cool, so I never told you guys that, but your butter knives are really dope. And that kind of inspired me to learn the trick, and it took a long time for me to understand what the trick is because, again, I didn't really come from a kicking background, so it was hard for me to do it without doing a crescent kick. But I personally love the way it looks when you actually do it with a hook kick. So my goal is to teach you how to properly do it with a hook kick and not do a crescent kick forever like I did. It's also one of the paramount progressions to one of the methods for getting your butterfly twist that I talked about in my butterfly twist tutorial, if you guys want to go check that out. In this tutorial, I'm going to give you 3 different methods for learning this, so hopefully one of them can help you out. Either way, let's get to the quick tutorial. All right, so what is a butter knife and why is it called a butter knife? So a butter knife is simply a butterfly kick where you turn and hook kick at the end of it. It's called a butter knife because it is literally a butterfly knife. A knife in tricking is a round kick motion followed by a hook kick. So you don't necessarily have to round kick for it to be a knife, but it is that hip positioning of a round kick, hook kick motion. Most hook kicks will be called knives in tricking, but it is essentially a butterfly knife. So you do a butterfly kick and then you turn your hips and hook kick, which creates that motion and why it's called a butter knife. It's also just funny to call it a butter knife, but you can also call it a Bknife or a butterfly hook and people know what you're talking about. So your prerequisites for this movement are going to be a butterfly kick and a hook kick. I'm gonna teach it 3 different ways. The first way is just from a butterfly kick, so just doing a butterfly kick, working on your spotting, turning your hips, doing a hook kick. Hopefully that'll work for you. If that doesn't work for you, the other way that I'm going to teach you is from a palm kick. So if you have a palm kick, you can turn that into a butter knife. I'll show you how. And then if you don't have it after one of those 2 methods, the other way I recommend doing it is from a swing hook. So it's very similar to a swing hook. You'll have to change a few things, but if you have a swing hook or a step over hook, you can use that to get your butter knife. With all that being said, let's go ahead and get into the first method. So the first way is just doing it from a butterfly kick. What you're gonna wanna do is warm up your butterfly kick, get used to it, get some height on your butterfly kick, and specifically make sure that you are pulling your head upwards and kicking backwards as hard as possible so that your butterfly kick is floaty. That's what's gonna make it look better than just turning around and doing a hook kick. If you don't have a solid butterfly kick yet, go ahead and click on that and work on your butterfly kick and then come back. If you got it, let's move on. So personally, what I think is going to be the easiest for you is if you do your butterfly kick and then work on your spotting first. So what I'd recommend is when you do your butterfly kick, you're gonna dip your head, you're gonna bring it up, and then you're gonna pick a target. Your target should be somewhere 45-degree angled to if you were just standing in a neutral stance. So if I'm looking forward, my target should be here or here, somewhere in this range, this cone of
devastation.
Where you're going to be kicking. Basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna step back, you're gonna do your dip, and then spot over there, lift so that you're facing away from your target, and lift your right leg so that you get a little bit of height, turn, spot your target, and then hook kick and you got a butter knife basically. But for now, just do a butterfly kick and work on spotting and landing while looking at that. So the reason I recommend working on spotting first is because it's going to help you to understand where to throw your kick and figure out your air awareness, but you can also be super lazy with it and just kind of like turn around and spot right there. You can literally just do it like that. I'm laved up with a cord connected to you guys and I still can do this by just jumping over the cord. So it's gonna be a dip, turn, spot, look at what you're trying to kick. From there, it can be as easy as doing a hook kick with that and then just doing it a little bit higher. But this is why it's so important to get proper hook kicks and to get your hook kicks to feel light. Personally, I haven't even ever felt that my hook kicks were light or easy to do until like a few months ago, because I've been drilling my hook kicks like a madman, trying to make them feel better, because I always have the curse of tight hips and tight hamstrings and just a tight, strong body, which has led me to not getting injured as much, I believe, but it's not flexible, so I'm working really hard to get that better, but it will help you so much with movements like this if you have a good hook kick. So essentially just do your butter knife motion, extend that leg out. Even if you don't do a hook kick, you can kind of just point at your target with your leg and just get used to that feeling. Do the spin around, don't even go that high, point your foot at your target or hook kick. If you cannot be gentle with this motion, then you probably don't have enough control yet to actually throw it. After that, just start working on the butterfly kick height, getting a little more height over time, doing a true butterfly kick, spotting, and trying to throw that hook kick. If you do a crescent kick on this, you're gonna do one of 2 things. You're gonna be too vertical the whole time and you do a crescent kick and it looks aight, or it kind of looks like an illusion. Or what you're gonna do is you're gonna go up and you get that horizontal position for your butter knife and you go to throw the hook kick, but you do a crescent and you're gonna slam right down on your butt. And that's going to be embarrassing and also hurt a lot. So make sure that you are doing a hook kick and not a crescent. And there's not much else to say about this method. Just do your butterfly kick, spot your target, do your hook kick, you got a butter knife. The only thing I will mention is that when you're doing it this way, if you focus on getting height too much by dipping crazy low on your butterfly kick when you're setting for the hook kick, what's gonna happen is you dip down and then your body is gonna wanna go over yourself like an aerial hook, so make sure that you get that head back up before you turn to hook kick and spot your target. This can be pretty disorienting and it can also be kind of hard not to introduce twisting momentum. So just make sure that you are spotting your target and you're waiting a long time before you turn and do the hook kick. For the second method, it's a palm kick. So I know what you're saying. What, did? Like a palm kick? Did. I hear you, man. Just trust me for a minute, all right? So this is a method that I actually thought of while I was shooting for this tutorial. I was actually doing a lot of hook kick motions, and I was doing a palm kick tutorial, which will come out a little bit later, but I was like, whoa, this is like disgustingly similar to a butter knife, and I just never thought about doing it this way before. So what you can do is abandon the butterfly kick for right now. Do your palm kicks, get used to it. Make sure it's very sideways for your palm kick, and it's not just a one-handed cartwheel without a hook, or feels like you're doing a hook, but you're not actually doing it. You're not going sideways enough or something. Make sure you're going around the side. Even on these examples, it looks like I'm kicking pretty high, but it feels like I'm going really sideways. So make sure that you my phone storage is full. So make sure you record yourself from different angles, so that way you know that you are doing it more sideways rather than over the top. It's okay to hook kick high as long as you have a relatively good hip turnover so that you can see the hook kick motion in your palm kick. Once you got that, what you want to do is you want to try and start hopping in your palm kick. So you can use one or two hands, it doesn't matter to me. I think I personally started with one arm, so I just did a little palm kick with a hop, nothing different at this stage. Then what I started doing was going from my dip, and I started doing a kind of butterfly kick or butter knife motion, then jumping, landing on both hands, and then doing your palm kick or your hook kick off to the side. The reason that this is so similar is because the head dip and swing across motion helps you pull your leg more sideways for the hook kick in your butter knife and your palm kick. So if you can get that feeling of reaching and kind of opening this side of your body, then you'll be able to turn for that hook kick with a lot more elasticity and power than you would if you were going more over the top. It's also something that I talk about with my students of like Thor's hammer, where you're swinging it around, how he swings it around and then throws it, and then that pulls you. It's kind of the same concept. You dip and you throw your head, and then that pulls the bottom of your body when you jump off of the ground. So it's a swing of your head that then swings and pulls your legs with equal force, or proportional force. Nick Vale, I'm not sure if it's, equal. After that, it's just a matter of scaling it up. So start doing a butterfly kick, catch on your hands, do your hook, and then after you have drilled it enough, you will hopefully be able to do a palm kick without hands. And if you do that from a butterfly stance, then you got yourself a butter knife. The key to this is going to be making sure that you arch your back and keep your head up when you are doing it, because you're naturally going to be kind of relaxing your upper body when you're doing your palm kick, other than the arm that you are supporting yourself on. So make sure that you're pulling your head up a lot for this method. And the last method is doing it from a swing hook. So I just made a swing hook tutorial if you want to go check that out. If you already have it, then let's go. What you're gonna do is you're gonna do your swing hook. Make sure your hook kick is pretty solid on your swing hook. Otherwise, you're better off probably learning it one of the other ways, because this is going to be a very kick heavy method, and you're gonna need to be able to open your hips pretty solid. This is gonna be similar to using your swing hook to get your slant gainer. If you know where your target is, you're gonna start facing your target, swing both legs through it, do your swing hook. Once you got that, you're going to kind of start turning it into a butterfly stance. So essentially, if I start here for my swing hook, and I usually swing like this, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to start doing my swing hook from here. So I start with my left leg facing this way, and then I swing hook here, boom, boom. And then instead of turning all the way around, but now I'm going to lift my leg, but instead of swinging my leg with my quads like I normally do, I'm going to turn my body, but still point at my target and do a swing hook. So it kind of feels like you don't have a lot of power in this, but most of the power in this is actually coming from your upper body instead of your lower body, like in the swing hook. You just keep scaling that so that you're more and more backwards to here while you're still spotting your target and your leg is pointing at your target, and then you turn and you do your hook kick. Keep scaling that up until you can do it floaty, like you are doing a regular butterfly kick before you turn, and then slam out that hook kick as hard as you can. In terms of instruction for this, I don't feel like this is super in depth, but I just wanted to introduce 3 different ways that you can do your butter knife, because again, it's all about how you think about it here rather than what you are physically doing a lot of times with tricks. So if you can understand it coming from a different place or a different starting point with another trick, then it'll be so much more helpful than if I just tell you exactly how to move your body in those ways. Everyone starts from different places, so if you have a swing hook already, then just go ahead and turn your swing hook into a butter knife. If you have a really solid butterfly kick and you love butterfly kick tricks, then just do it the first way and just turn it into it by just turning your hips more and more and focus on spotting. If you got a palm kick and you've never thought about doing a butterfly hook, but you want to try it out, then maybe palm kick is the way that can help you. I like to introduce different ways just so I can be as helpful as possible for you guys. Everyone's always going to have questions, and there's always going to be different methods, so I may make similar videos in the future giving you other directions or other tips, or maybe an in-depth version of this for a specific method. But for now, those are the 3 methods that I recommend you use to get your butterfly hook or butter knife. Common mistakes for your butter knife are as follows. Keeping your head too low. If you keep your head too low, you do your dip, but you do a really powerful butterfly hook, then you're really doing a really powerful aerial hook. So make sure you arch your back a crap ton and you pull your head up a lot, because even in my examples, you can see how I'm just level. I'm almost going underneath myself because it's relatively difficult to do a proper hook kick while you are completely sideways in the air and also still be able to land. So make sure your beginning is crazy sideways and you're pulling with your back muscles so that your head is up before you turn and hook kick. Otherwise, it's gonna look like an aerial hook. Not jumping enough or doing the butterfly kick motion enough before you turn and hook kick. It's not necessarily a problem. I see a lot of butter knives like this, and there are completely places where you want to do this, but if you want to do a butter knife as maybe the end of your combo or something, you want to float and smash that thing like Alex Kerwood does. Same thing if you're trying to do it with like a combo opener. You go up, you float, you hook kick really hard, and then do like maybe a back sweep and start a combo. But if you're doing it in the middle of a combo, you might want to continue to stay super low to the ground and have more control. So it's not a bad thing to not lift super high with your butterfly kick before you Bknife, but sometimes people unintentionally do it. If you kind of end up looking like you're doing a backside 720 or something, or a backside 360 hook, then you're not going to be doing a butter knife. It just won't look like a butter knife. So make sure you lift and do the butterfly motion first. And the third common mistake is doing a crescent kick instead of a hook kick. Stop doing this, guys. You need to learn the difference between a crescent kick and a hook kick. The reason I'm so passionate about this is because I personally did it for like 7 or 8 years. I didn't know the difference between a crescent kick and a hook kick, and I mentioned that in the last couple of videos, and I know that, Father John would be super disappointed with me. I'm sorry, Father John. I just didn't know, and that's why I'm trying to harp on it so much for you guys. But just like I said earlier, if you go up really high and you do a crescent kick, you're gonna do either an illusion or you're gonna slam on your back real hard and it's gonna hurt a lot. So make sure that you are actually turning your hips sideways and doing a real hook kick. But that's about all I got today. If you guys like this video, please like the video if it was helpful to you, or if it helped you improve your butter knife or learn your butter knife. I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. If you like this video and my other content, please subscribe to my channel to help me on my quest to 1,000 subs. And until next time, please stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you guys later.